The welterweight division seems to have all the right elements to keep the flames burning for a while, with all the young up-and-coming talent beginning to step up in competition. Jaron, better known as Boots Ennis, is looking to begin his rise to the top of the division by going after Sergey Lipinets. His last fight was supposed to be his toughest to date, but unfortunately for him, and perhaps fortunate for his opponent in Chris Van Heerden, the fight was declared a no contest after a damaging accidental headbutt in the very first round. Sergey, on the other hand, has been on a good winning streak since his loss to Mikey Garcia several years back. He brings tenacity, power, and good variation of punches on the inside, but above all, experience fighting higher leveled competition in comparison to a young rising star in Boots. Boots, on the other hand, is an incredibly talented switch hitter with power in both hands. He has beautiful fluidity in his combinations and works the body as well as targets the head in a very methodical fashion. However, one of his, if not his most upstanding attributes is his hand speed. The kid is incredibly fast. To be honest, I think Boots is a complete package and I look forward to see how far he gets in his career. Although this should be a solid test, I think Boots will pass with flying colors. He is just that good. I know Boots is looking to hop on the train of success and look to catapult his name amongst the elite in the division, and to be honest, fighting out of the PBC stable, he has plenty of great names to build his resume out of, especially with the rest of the PBC stable beginning to age and perhaps beginning to decline, but still carrying significant weight so that Boots can gain some notoriety from beating them. Once he gets past Sergey, who is ranked top 3 per the IBF, which is pretty crazy, I think he should try cracking at the rest of the top 10 talents for other sanctioning bodies as well. As it stands, he's already ranked in the top 15 for the WBC, currently sitting comfortably at number 12 with them. He's cracked the top 10 with the IBF by being ranked at the cutoff, which is number 10, and the WBO holds him in the highest esteem by placing him at number 7. Of course, the WBC and IBF are both held by Errol Spence Jr., and the WBA's champion is Manny Pacquiao, so that pretty much puts the entire division at the palm of his hands. However, he isn't even ranked in the top 15 per the WBA as it stands at this moment, so he could potentially look forward to ranking in that organization, especially with talks about Manny Pacquiao being stripped potentially in the near future. Although he is ranked highest by the WBO, their champion just so happens to be Terrence Bud Crawford, and I don't see that fight happening because of Bud pretty much holding the belt hostage over at top rank. Plus, it'd be a bit longer before Boots gets to that level of contention. Moving on, although he isn't ready for the likes of Errol Spence Jr. or Pacquiao at the moment neither, I think a fight between him and Jesse Vargas, Josecito Lopez, or hell, even give him Broner at this point, could be a continued step in the right direction. Make sure to keep an eye out for his fight against Lipinets, which is rumored to be tracking for some time in April. One of the other blue chip prospects steadily inching towards championship contention is none other than the hard-hitting Texas native Vergil Ortiz. His impressive record of 16 wins, with all of those wins coming by way of knockout, is finally getting a relatively challenging name in Mauirce Mighty Mo Hooker. The fight is looking to be set for some time in March, potentially March 27th, and it's looked to be slated in both of the fighters' hometown, which is Dallas, Texas. Mauirce Hooker is looking to step up in weight and will be looking to begin his campaign at welterweight by attempting to get a win over one of boxing's hottest prospects, and when it comes to sole talent, perhaps Golden Boy's most talented up-and-comer. This would also mark the 31-year-old's second fight under the guidance of Brian Bomac McIntyre. Back to Ortiz. Vergil is most definitely looking like he will be amongst the best welterweight names in the next few years. Although he has had some solid tests in form of Mauricio Herrera and Antonio Orozco, Mauirce Mighty Mo Hooker will easily be his biggest and most accomplished name to date. However, it all depends on what Mighty Mo shows up, which is unfortunate for Ortiz because although this is a step up in regards to name and class, we don't know how acclimated Mauirce will look with not only a new campaign at welterweight, but also a continued development under a new training team. Moving on, I have an issue with Vergil's career situation. Just hear me out. Although he is sitting comfortably under the Golden Boy umbrella, and he has stated the following in an interview with Jocelyn Flores, and I quote, "Everyone yearns to become a world champion. However, I want to be remembered. I want people to remember who I am and the impact I left above the ring. I want to become an undisputed champion. I want to get all the belts and I want to fight against the best. I don't want easy fights. I train very hard and I suffer a lot in training camps. I want to face the best. I want to raise my level and show what I am capable of." End quote. The good news is that Vergil Ortiz is not only highly touted by the boxing media, but he's also ranked top 5 by the WBC, and his potential opponent in Mighty Mo is already located among the top 10 in the IBF rankings himself. Unfortunately for him though, all the names and talents seem to be across the street with the PBC. I'm not saying it's impossible for him to become a world champion or the undisputed or unified or even build an impressive career, since the PBC and Golden Boy have worked together in the past. I'm just saying that it won't be nearly as easy as if all the top names were under the same promotional banner as him, the way Boots has it laid out in front of him, because of all the power players being within reach and in the same promoter's roster. In regard to the fight with Mighty Mo, although it should be a relative challenge, I think Ortiz will prove too heavy-handed for Hooker and gets the former light welterweight champion out of there in the middle rounds. Ortiz is simply too big, too powerful with both hands. The way he pivots to generate windows of angles, and his accuracy will be all the tools he needs to strive for greatness and overcome a challenging Mighty Mo. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Like always, make sure to subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are Jaron, Boots, Ennis, and Vergil Ortiz going to dispose of their first significant test with relative ease, or do you think one or both fighters will find their fights more difficult than what I believe and anticipate? Do you see both fighters being the future of the division? And who do you think is more equipped to reach and maintain himself at the top of the sport? Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to hearing from y'all. Like always, this is Shay at King Me Boxing, signing out.